Hello everyone, welcome back to my ABAP Tutorial Series. In the last class, we discussed about internal table. We will continue with that with more practical scenarios. So we will quickly recap the definition of internal table. So what is internal table? Internal table is a temporary table which is stored in SAP memory, okay, or memory or application server. So why we need internal table? To store and process data during execution of a program. Okay, during execution of a program, we need to store and process the data. That is why we need internal table. It has rows and columns. Now we will see different types to define internal table. In the last class also we already we already saw 2-3 types of definition. In this class we will completely see the different types of defining internal table. So we will go to our next slide. So different ways to define internal table. So what is the first way? First way is which we had covered in our last class with help of begin of and end of. Begin of IT1. IT1 is our internal table name. Occurs 0. Okay. Without occurs, if there is no keyword occurs, then it will treat as a program structure. If I simply write as begin of IT1 and end of IT1. So it will treat as a program structure, not internal table. To make it internal table, we have to use the keyword occurs. Occurs 0. Why 0? 0 means it can contains n number of records. Okay, it can contains n number of records. So with help of keyword occurs, we can define the program structure as a internal table. What is the program structure? Without occurs keyword, IT1 is the program structure. Once we declare occurs keyword, then IT1 will be the internal table. Now, it has internal table has header table, okay, because it is included with program structure only, right? Program structure with keyword occurs, it becomes internal table. So it has header table. It has header table. So this is our internal table IT1. This is our header and this is our body. Okay. What is header name? IT1 is the header name and body name is also IT1 is the body. IT1 is header, IT1 is body. So this internal table has header and body both. Okay. If you are not sure about what is header, what is body, then please watch the previous class. Then I'm sure you will understand it completely. Now, this is our first type of definition. Data begin of IT1 occurs 0, end of IT1. Okay. Begin of IT1 occurs 0, end of IT1. What is F1, F2, F3? F1, F2, F3 are 3 fields of internal table. Okay. This is our internal table IT1. What are the fields? F1 is a field, F2 is a field, and F3 is a field. And it has rows. So this will contain the records. Okay. These are records and this is column. Okay. F1, F2, F3 are 3 fields of internal table IT1. Okay. The next syntax, next type of definition is data keyword IT2 like LFA1 occurs 0. Similarly, if I remove the occurs, only this part IT2 like LFA1. So what will it treat as? It will treat as program structure. Okay, same program structure. Program structure IT2 like LFA1. So what is we are referring here? We are referring to the standard table LFA1. Similarly, with including keyword occurs 0, internal table like LFA1 standard table. So it will treat as an internal table, not program structure. Okay, not program structure. Now, what is the similarity between these two? This is also included with program structure. And if I remove this occurs 0, it is it will be treat like a program structure. Okay, IT2 will treat like a program structure if I remove the occurs 0. But with occurs 0, it is simply a internal table referring to standard table LFA1. Okay, it is internal table referring to standard table LFA1. So IT2 is internal table. It has no header table. Why it has no header table? Because it does not contains the program structure syntax. Okay, if I completely see the syntax, it is simply referring to a standard table. So it is a internal table because we have occurs keyword. Here also we have occurs keyword, but begin of IT1 and end of IT1 is program structure syntax. After including occurs 0, it has become the internal table. But here we are directly referring to the table. We are directly referring to the table. That is why IT2 is a internal table. Okay. It has no header table. It has no header table. It is just a internal table. So if we use this kind of internal table in our program, then we must have to use work area to insert the data into our internal table. Now, the third type of definition is IT3 like LFA1. It is similar to the second one only. IT3 like LFA1 occurs 0. It is internal table without header line, but if we write with header line, then it has header table. It has header table. So what is the difference between these two? This has no header line. It has header table. It has no header table, and the third one has header table. IT2 like LFA1 occurs 0. IT3 like LFA1 occurs 0 with header line. Now the next one is IT4 like IT3 occurs 0. So does it have the header line? No. IT4 simply refers to the internal table IT3. Okay, but we have not defined with header line, so it doesn't have header table. IT4 is also an internal table which is referring to IT3. Now the next one is begin of IT5 occurs 100, include structure LFA1, end of IT5. So this is internal table. This is our internal table. IT5 is our internal table. Inside internal table, we have include one structure LFA1. Okay. So how many fields will be there in our internal table? And LFA1 fields. The number of fields that LFA1 contains. LFA1 is a standard table. Suppose 150 fields in LFA1 is there. So our internal table also contains 150 fields. Okay. LFA1 is standard table, vendor master table. LFA1 contains 150 fields. IT5 also contains 150 fields. How we can include the LFA1 structure? We can include with statement include structure statement. Okay. We can include with include structure statement. We will do practical on this whole definitions. Each and every definition we will do practical in the next class. Thank you. Thank you for watching.